Okay, so chapter 13. For truly all men who had no perception of God, they were vain by nature and didn't gain power to know Him who exists from the good things that are seen. They didn't recognize the architect from his works. Does this sound familiar? But they thought that either fire or wind or swift air or circling stars or raging water or luminaries of heaven were gods that ruled the world. If it was through delight in their beauty that they took them to be gods, let them know how much better their sovereign Lord is than these, for the first author of beauty created them. I hope you're starting to recognize Romans 1 in this chapter. And again, this came before the time of Paul and New Testament. But if it was through astonishment as their power and influence, then let them understand from then how much more powerful he who formed them is. For from the greatness of the beauty of created things, mankind forms the corresponding image of their Maker. But yet for these men there is but small blame, for they too perhaps go astray while they are seeking God and desiring to find Him. For they diligently search while living among His works, and they trust their sight that the things that they look at are beautiful. But again, even they are not to be excused, for if they had power to know so much, that they should be able to explore the world, how is it that they didn't find the sovereign Lord sooner? And again, so much Romans 1. But miserable were they, and in their things were their hopes, who called them gods, which are works of men's hands, gold and silver, skillfully made, and likeness of animals, or a useful stone, the work of an ancient hand. Yes, and if some woodcutter, having sawn down a tree that is easily moved, skillfully strips away all its bark, and fashioning it in attractive form, makes a useful vessel to serve his life's needs. Burning the scraps from his handiwork to cook his food, he eats his fill. Taking a discarded scrap which served no purpose, a crooked piece of wood, and full of knots, carves it with the diligence of his idleness, and shapes it by the skill of his idleness. He shapes it in the image of a man, or makes it like some paltry animal, smearing it with something red, painting it red, and smearing over every stain in it. Having made a worthy chamber for it, he sets it in a wall, securing it with iron. He plans for it that it may not fall down, knowing that it is unable to help itself, for truly it is an image and needs help. This reminds me of in the Old Testament. Oh my God, it's so funny. I love that passage of the Old Testament when the statue of Dagon falls down in God's presence. It falls down twice, and the second time, um, the torso, right, of the statue of Dagon, false god, is destroyed because it's unable to do anything, just like this passage is saying. When he makes his prayer concerning goods and his marriage and children, he's not ashamed to speak to that which has no life. So pagans are not ashamed to speak to their so-called gods and idols and to pray for them, to pray to them. Yes, for health, he calls upon that which is weak. For life, he implores that which is dead. For aid, he supplicates that which has no experience. For a good journey, he asks that which can't so much as move a step. And for profit in business and good success of his hands, he asks ability from that which has hands with no ability.